act was messing with me a little while ago. It wouldn't let me in. It wouldn't let me go live. I was like, oh Lord, here we go.
Yes, Solid had asked me, to come in and, say a few words of things that I'm grateful for. So I respect, no pun intended. I have much respect for Solid as well as you. But I said, let me just ask real
Oh
quick if
no,
I
that's
could
fine.
just be a few minutes.
That's fine, girl. You do what you got to do.
I've been having issues too with that. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. At first, when I was trying to go live, it would just give me a white screen. I was like, oh, I guess it won't be no. I guess we may not be having no show tonight because I was like, okay. And me and Maria had just talked about it, and I was like,
Oh
hmm.
no.
I guess it took me a minute to get in respectfully's live. I was like, oh no, what in the world?
Yesterday, nobody couldn't get in. He had trouble getting in. He was supposed to be my co-host today, and he had trouble. I don't know what's up. It's this Mercury retrograde, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what's
Yeah,
going.
that reminds me, I couldn't get in your show either. It would say go live, and then everything else would be white. That's all I saw.
Ain't no telling, child. I said,
I
Tad,
said, what in the world?
all this money, they shouldn't be having these glitches. But anyway.
Hey. But yet I was like, oh my God. I've been wanting to catch that show for a while, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be on today. I was so happy yesterday. I was like, hey, it's gonna be on today.
Well, come next week, it's going to be a special show because it's my birthday, part of my birthday celebration. So I'll be having a 2 hour show. It'll be different. I'm going to have some guest speakers and different things. We're going to do things a little bit different next week.
Mm.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, Sunday.
All right. I'm looking forward to that.
Saturday, so
So I heard you say your birthday was on Friday.
yeah.
Hmm.
I have a little birthday celebration on Saturday, and then my special rejuvenate with the emotion on Sunday, and then that's it. I'm tired, child.
You go, girl.
Yes, but thank you for having me.
Hey, Fresh Prince, how you doing? Yes.
Thank you.
Before we get started, I just want you to know that you are enough. You are more than enough. We've talked a little bit in the inbox about, about everything. So I just want you to know you are more than enough.
Yes,
Great to
ma'am.
see you too. I like I told you, I got my little tissue.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, girl. I'm gonna try.
Hey, yeah, like I said, this is a safe place for you to come and air out any, well, yeah, air out any issue that you have.
All
And
right.
I thank you for just wanting to share it with us
Hmm.
because this is a no judgment zone. And I honestly thank you. I really do.
Good. Thank you so much. So I don't know how this works. Are there specific questions that you ask, or no?
Tonight, when people come to us with their own topic, I kind of give them the floor, so they can talk about their experiences. But tonight, I don't know about Maria, but tonight I have experienced something like that also, not once but twice. But I'm gonna let you have the floor, and if you want to ask anything, if you want to ask us anything, or you can.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
It's your topic.
Oh, it's like, yeah, you know
you,
what?
I mean, you understand what I'm saying.
No, I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. No. So yes, I guess I'm really here to talk about where I've been and where I am now. Because I would say this is 2024. So 5 years, about 5 years ago, I got separated. I was married for 8 years. I was together for 10 years, with my ex husband. Um, and I went through a lot. I went, I went through a lot. I went through a lot with him. I have to say that if anybody sees signs, red flags, blatant red flags, please do not ignore them. Please adhere to them and pray on that. Pray on it. Because there were clear signs of narcissism even we were just friends, dating, things like that. Okay. He wasn't very, at times, not very nice to his mom, you know. Um, he would speak to her, disrespectfully. A lot of times he would bring things up, bring things up of the past a lot of the time, to make her feel bad, to justify him as the victim on certain things, Um, he also he was married before me. He was also married to someone before me. And he portrayed her to be this evil person, this mean person. And me, being vulnerable and in love and thinking that he couldn't lie about this, right? I believed him, you know what I mean? But as years went on, I ended up finding that a lot of stuff was not true, and that he was the cause of a lot of things.
Hmm.
um I did a lot for this man. I met this man ironically enough, because my kids are at home. I'm actually at the hotel that I met him at. Yes,
Wow.
because it is literally right around the corner from my house. Yeah, I know, full circle, right? Um, so I met him here. He was working at the front desk at the hotel, and I was young. I wanted to get married, this, that, and the third. And I took him from making, $10 an hour, whatever it was at the time. I took him back to school, and he is and great for him. He got a very good job. He worked for EPA. He's worked for Intuit. He's an incident manager. Works very well, does very well for himself. Even at one point made more than me. um, so I have done a lot for him. I cultured this man. I've done a lot for him. Okay, also had 2 kids. I have 2 kids with him as well. But it got to the point where I started seeing the qualities that he was exhibiting to his mom. I started seeing it exhibited onto me. You know what I mean? So I would say between the lying that he did to me regarding his ex-wife and some other things, um, even financially, he said that she took loans out in his name, and I wanted to at one point us to be totally debt free. And so I made provisions to where I, you know, paid off the loans blindly. Um, and it turns out those were actually his own loans. They were not hers. So, yeah, and it was a lot of money. So, I took this man back to school. I paid off his loans that he said were hers. There were times when he would, you know, I did cheat on him. I did start cheating on him, and I know that was not right to do. Um, But, a lot of times, even when I was trying to make things right, he would throw it up in my face, you know, and he was a drinker, alcoholic, um, and just, the verbal abuse, I feel, and the narcissism, it really puts you in a dark place. I think I was more of in survival mode at some point, you know what I mean? Because I have two kids, and I want this to work because no one gets married to get divorced, you know what I mean? And I didn't have time. I felt I didn't take the time to heal. I didn't take the time to face my trauma that was going on with me. I just pretended everything was fine. I made like everything was fine. I knew inside things weren't fine, but I hyped myself up to think things were fine, and they weren't. You know what I mean? And that's not good. So when someone is constantly in your face and they're constantly saying, they're bringing up things from the past to justify certain things that are going on now, or they're calling you an unfit mother, they're saying that you're the one that broke up the family, this and third. Even like I said, even when we separated in 2019 and we got divorced in 2021, I would even say to this day, he still says that I'm the one that broke up the family, and many times he's called me a part-time parent. He's called me a convenient mom. Um, he's remarried at this time, and he's even told me, um, because I'm just a one income person, and I told him I don't get child support from him. I keep it out the courts. And, when I've asked him for money, he's like, well, you know, you can pay for these things. I said, yes, I can. But I said, you are a two-income household. He has two sons from his previous marriage, and I raised those boys like they were my own. And he keeps on telling me that, oh, well, don't bring her income into this. And I'm sitting here like, but you always have said that when she married you, she married the children too. So, you know, why not? So then he'll throw up in my face again. You can't be a part-time mom. He's even said to me, oh, she'd be a better mother than you any day. Who says stuff like that? Who says stuff like that to somebody?
Mm-mm.
So I was really in a dark place. I had to go to therapy, y'all. A lot of therapy. Because when you're dealing with a narcissist, and real sister, I'm sure you know, it's
Oh
a
yeah.
different level of conversation that you have to deal with these people. Because these people, you could talk about, I don't know, just something simple. Like I could say the kids, I don't even know, the kids need shoes. And somehow in that conversation, the narcissist person is bringing up some old that you done did. Well, why don't you get the
Oh
shoes?
yeah.
Well, you so and so, and you bringing stuff up in the past, and then before you know, if you don't check yourself back to reality, you talking about that old stuff back in whatever time it is, and your point, you ain't even solve whatever it is that you were talking about the shoes for the kids, but that's how they do. And so I had to go to therapy for that because what ended up happening was I was constantly going in this like circular type of conversation. And I noticed that I would get my blood pressure raised, nothing would get done. We ended up
Mm-hmm.
fighting, right? And then I'm still back to square one. We still ain't talk about the damn shoes. So, you know, I had to learn to ignore. Narcissists do not like it when you ignore them at all. They hate that because they want to have the last word and they want to get at you. You get what I'm saying? So I have really been through a lot And I didn't realize until I did some shadow work, y'all. And I continue to do my shadow work. How
Mhm.
much in a dark place that man put me. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
really did not realize that. I really did not realize that until this year. Do you know that? When I thought I was healed, I did not know that until this year. I was just like, damn.
Mhm.
Reflection. Like I said, sitting down, and like I said, this year is a very spiritual year for me. I've really got connected with source and spirit. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And doing like that shadow work, like I said, to face the stuff that I've been through and some decisions that I have made that I have had to face repercussions for, you
Mhm.
know? And
Mhm.
then to sit and do that shadow work and say, well, why did you do this? Why did you do that? What made you get mixed up with those particular people over there? You would never get mixed up with those people. And I had to really sit down and be like, this man really put me through some shit. Oh, I'm sorry, stuff. I don't know if I can cuss on him now. I'm sorry. Really put me through some stuff. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
But I'm gonna tell y'all something. The best thing that I did, I have to say, was last month. I told myself, if I'm really gonna be reborn, I need to drop the last name. I had his name, and I kept it for the kids.
Mhm.
I said, you know what? If I truly want to be born again, I have to take on the name I was born with. And I did it. I did it. When I tell you, y'all, when I finally got that license in the mail, when I did that last thing, and I went to Social Security and I changed my name officially. Do you know I sat in that car and I cried? I
I'm proud of you.
I cried because I was like, oh my
I'm so proud of you.
baby, I have finally closed this door. A girl. I felt so liberated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it feels good when you get your own name back. It's a
I'm
oh
still in the
yeah.
process. Now the sucky thing is going through all these things and changing all my name. You know, I'm still in the process of doing that. But
Mhm.
just being able to do that, and it feels so good. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
feel rejuvenated. You know, I
Just by that one little thing, just changing the name,
girl, just changing the name.
girl. Hey, I understand that.
Uh, I was just like, oh my goodness. But I just, in real sister, I wanted to ask you. I mean, like, how do we not see these red flags? Like, did you have red flags when you were going, through your relationships that you
I'm
had?
gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I saw them. Well, back then, I was like young. I will say it. I was young and dumb. All I wanted to do was leave my mama house, get married, leave my mama's house. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could go back and restart that again. I would stay there and be where my mama want. Well, not be where she wanted me to be, but be listen to her a little bit more. Cause she was like, "No, I don't think you need to get married. Don't do that." Mm-mm. Got married, man. It was so bad. I would cook. He would come home. He was a Marine. He would come home and he would say, "Oh, it's good, but I don't think so because you made it. You just told me it was good. Remember the other day you didn't cook? Okay, I was sick." He had my son. It wasn't his son, but he had my pure son calling me the B word. You know how old my son was?
No, Two?
Not even two yet, but yeah, somewhere around in there. Yeah. Hmm. If I don't love you, nobody will. Don't be throwing that up in my face. There's a lot of I could have talked to plenty people, but he wanted to talk to me. I said, okay, we can do that. I've always been a loner. I've always been by myself. I have friends, and they be like, "Come on, go out with me, go out with me." After all that, I met another one. Ooh, and I got pregnant by that. I didn't get pregnant by my ex-husband. I got pregnant by the other one, and he was something special. Oh my god, he would come home. I had a high risk pregnancy, so he would come home. I'm telling you, he smelled like he had just had a big old orgy, and then he wanted to beat on me and wanted me to do that with him. I was like, nah, nah, I'm good on that. Mm-mm. Nope. I, it's hard when you look in your children's face and you can see them. You can see their dad. Yeah, but I love my baby though. But yeah, it is.
So do you think
And when
you
you
were
came to me,
both for the first one? Is that? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking. I'm so sorry.
about that, I was like, oh my god, because I had been letting things go, and then that surfaced. I was like, here we go.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I mean, sometimes, with this show right here, I know certain topics that either we come up with or somebody else wants to do. I know certain topics is going to be hard for people.
Yeah.
And if you ask them, hey, you want to be on this show? That's why I give them the ultimatum. Hey, if you got a topic that you want to talk about, bring it to us and we'll talk about it. That's why I was like, wow. I even told Maria, I said, I'm happy that she chose to do it on the show so she can let it go. I said, maybe she'll help me.
Yes. So this is good therapy for me
Whoa.
because you know what it is. I feel like we think we are alone. You know what I mean? Like nobody else is going through this but us.
Okay, since you say that, I got one question. Okay, since all that has happened to you, now let's say you've met good people here on the app, and you've met good people, like out in real life. Um, do you still feel alone?
Mm-mm. I don't. You mean alone? Um, that I
Like
went
what?
through.
Like when you're going like when you're going through something like something small or something simple. Do you feel that you can't go and talk to nobody about it? Do you feel like alone? Because that's my problem.
Yes. So certain things, yes, I do feel that way because um, I feel ashamed. I feel I don't want to be judged.
Right.
Um, and then, hey Joe. And then I feel that I feel certain things like the people who I hang out with. I'm talking about off the app, obviously.
Right.
I feel like they wouldn't have done this particular thing. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I don't feel comfortable going to anybody to tell them about certain things because
Right.
I didn't. And to me, that's when I feel alone.
Okay, so how can how can you change that? Because I do have people that tell me, I'm here for you. And I just feel, what I'm going through, medical wise, spiritual wise, or anything, I just feel, hey, I'm alone. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's hard, and I try to use that term a little bit carefully because, if we have God, we're not truly alone, right? But we want
That's true.
somebody, right? But we want somebody here in the physical. Do you get what I'm saying? To talk to. I may want to talk to, I have three homegirls. Actually, one just texted me while I was here, that I've known for like 30 years. You know what I mean? And I feel like certain things I can't even tell them. I can't bring myself. I can't do it.
Right.
And we share a lot with each other. I mean, a lot, you know. But there're just certain particular things I just can't, and I hate that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get where you're at. Cuz being with a narcissist, that's crazy. It is really, really, really a shame how people treat people.
Thank you. I need one of those about now.
Oh.
It really is. Real sister. Dealing with a narcissist, it really it takes the piece of you. You know what I mean? It does.
Yes, it does.
It takes the piece of you, and through healing and being connected spiritually, you try to get back the best you can to where you were. But I just feel like you never will totally be back to. It is a shame, right? It sucks. Actually, I guess I'm gonna
Hell yeah.
the wall right now, actually saying that. You know what I'm saying? Because, yes, yes,
Oh yeah.
yes.
Yeah, Maria always says, if you need to talk, I'm here. I'm fine.
She's just, even though she's not fine, she's fine.
I'm fine.
I think dealing with a narcissist, um, a piece is taken from you, and you feel sometimes that you can't express yourself because a narcissist always throws that back up in your face, right? They are always judgmental. Um, I know the person I was married to, when he was nice, he was nice. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh,
And
you
then
had a nice one? Whew.
but there's a caveat to that. There was a bad part about that because when he was nice, that's when I would let my guard down, and then I would tell him certain things. And in the niceness of him, he would always say, "Oh, he would be so compassionate. I'm so sorry about that. You know, I it stays with me. I would never use that against you." Ooh, that was the worst thing to say. I should have known then.
Hey, mine was only nice in the bedroom. He only wanted what he wanted. He was only nice in my ex-husband. He was only nice in the bedroom. When I tell you, he would come home from work. My mama always taught us not to do evil for evil. So I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna do this. Even though I know that I can. I really can. I can be just as evil and hellish as you. But I just told him, I said, I'm not gonna do that. He come in from work, I'd be like, hey, how you doing? Dinner's ready. Now I just told you a little while ago. He would say, oh, it's good, but I don't care about it since you made it. I'll try it. Oh, what? Okay, okay. And I'd hear him on the phone. He'd be talking to his friends, oh, this and that. And he'd be all nice. When we get off the phone, he go back to being a hell angel to me. So I was just like, okay. Even when he would go, before he would go to work, I would say, well, you have a good day. And he just look at me and turn his nose up. I either call him or text him and ask him how his day is going. What do you want? Don't text me. What do you want? Let somebody else do it. He's like, oh, I'm good. I'm just, nah. That's why I said, I wish that I would have stayed in my mama and daddy's house
Yeah.
and waited until it was genuine, because that wasn't genuine. And for me to get divorced in 2000 just to meet another one.
Now, that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think? How do you think you met another one? Do you think you weren't healed from the first one, and that was the reason why you attracted another one? Do you feel?
Um, yes and no. Yes, because yeah, I really wasn't healed. I just, like I said, I pushed it, in the back of my head, because my mama always taught us, hey, just because somebody does this to you, just pray about it and forgive them in your time and move on. So that's what I did. Well, at least I thought I did that. Hey, how you doing? But at least I thought I did that. No, it didn't happen that way. I was just like, wow, here we go again. Every new broom sweeps good. Whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, it don't matter. Every new broom sweeps good. And that's what he did. And then when he started coming home, like I said, little, earlier, when he started coming home and putting his hands on me, and I had lost that first baby, then I got pregnant again by him. And I had that one. And she says, Mom, how's my sperm donor doing? She don't call him dad. She don't call him nothing. Not nothing. I even asked her, you want to go visit your dad? That ain't my dad. That's just a sperm donor. Since I went through that, I don't talk her against him. I don't say nothing bad. I do in my head, but I don't say nothing bad.
But kids pick up on energy. They pick up on that stuff.
For him to say that I turned his daughter against him, you did that when you asked if your brother and yourself could have a threesome with her mama.
What?
Yeah. So I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, just how do you do something like that?
You want her stepbrother and you and me to get in the bed? I lost all. I'm serious. This time I lost all respect for him. I still don't. I still don't say. I don't talk about. I don't talk bad about him.
No,
She
I
do.
understand what you're
She
saying.
does. She does. But I don't. Mama, that's not my daddy. That's just a sperm donor. All I can say is okay. She talks really bad about him. She said, Mom, I want you to be with somebody that I can call my stepdad. I said, okay. She don't my kids do not take too many people. Maria knows that. But yeah. So yeah, and I guess dealing with that, I had let stuff go, but I don't think I let the like it having somebody there for you is not something that I'm used to,
Oh, okay.
because during that time, when you're always told, "Oh, I'm not gonna be there for you," or "You're nothing," or "You're this," "You're that," that's why I feel sometimes I feel that I don't have nobody. I'm gonna be honest, Maria, my CEO, they always getting on me. You got us. I'm telling you, I could sit here all night long and go through and be okay the next day, all by myself. I'm a loner.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, mm,
Yeah. Yes. Hmm. Yeah.
and that's where I'm at. I'm trying. That is where I'm at.
Yes. You
It's,
know,
I mean, I'm not saying I don't trust nobody, but once you've been through stuff like that, and if you've been through it more than once, it's hard to trust anybody. It's hard to let anybody in.
absolutely. Now, have you been with to therapy and all that as well?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And she trying to work on me with it. I mean, whoo, it takes time. you
Oh, absolutely.
you got to know who to trust and who you can't trust.
Oh, yes, ma'am. And that's the thing. But I'm sitting here now. It's so crazy. And I've talked about this, not in this depth on the app. I've made little references about it. But it's amazing how each time you could talk about it, something else comes out. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and you feel a lot better.
I do.
I'm not saying that I don't feel better. I'm not saying that this show tonight is not helping me. I'm just saying that I need to learn that everybody is not out to get me. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying? You understand what I'm saying?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. And for me, like this is my first time really noticing like there was really a piece of you that was taken.
Hmm.
Like that is just I just have to sit for a second. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that is I just want to like well I want to grab him
Right,
and
right.
part of me wants to wring his neck and stuff. What I'm saying for taking that for taking that. You know what I mean? Listen, I he's actually having back surgery tomorrow morning. Okay. He's been having back issues for years now. And it's actually gotten worse over, I would say, this year, maybe late last year. You know what I mean? Um, and I think I'm finally at the point, I would say this month or last month, I really feel indifferent because I was talking to this guy I'm dating right now, and I was like, when I dropped the kids off Thursday night, back to his house. When he answered the door, I mean, he was in pain. I could tell he was in pain, a lot of pain. You could tell when someone's in pain. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I looked at him and I was like, "What's wrong with you?" And he was like, "Well, my back, and I'm having surgery, you know, next week." And the only thing I said to him was this: I said, well, it'll be over soon. And I turned and walked away. I didn't feel nothing. And that's not like I'm a type of person, I'm an empath, and I'm a type of person, I have a kind heart. You know what I'm saying? Like if something was wrong with y'all, I'd be all like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. What can we do? Like I literally felt nothing for that man. Nothing. Nothing. I have talked to him. I've talked to him since, we have two kids together. So I've even talked to him, this evening, this afternoon about certain things about the kids. Do you know not one time have I asked him if he's okay with his surgery, if anything like that? Nothing. I was nothing. It's crazy. And it shouldn't, right? It shouldn't. But this is not like me. But I'm like, maybe I am finally getting to that point where that door is truly closed now. You know what I'm trying to say? Because he's close to my parents. I'm close to his family, his side of the family. I am. They have nothing to do with him, but he is close to my parents. And it's amazing. When I pulled up, I was talking to my mom about something, and she said, "Oh, she said he's having surgery tomorrow, right?" I said, "Yeah," and she's like, "Okay." She says, "He did tell me what time because we're gonna go see him. Well, I'm gonna take the kids to see him." I said, well, mine's early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. She said, okay. She's like, well, I guess, me and your dad will go and pray for him. I said, okay. That's all. I gotta go. I gotta show her. I said, okay. I really don't care. Ooh, that sounds so horrible, though. But I really don't
At
care.
least you can talk to yours.
Yeah. And he's remarried now. So a lot of times I'm just like, it's her fault now. It's her.
I wish my ex, my daughter's father would go and find him somebody else. And even when he finds somebody else, it's like he feels that he has that hold over me because I have his child. And he'll call me if I talk to somebody. He'll call me, and I don't know how he knows it. He would call me and say, "Oh, I know what you're wearing. I know who you're seeing." And I was just like, "And now I'm gonna be honest. He has scared two dudes away.
What? Girl.
If you don't leave her alone, I'm gonna hurt her." Back then, that gave me. That's how initially they diagnosed me with PTSD.
I mean, how do you tell somebody
Because
that?
you are telling me that you know what I have on, you know what time I go to work, you know what time I get off, you know where I went for lunch. I didn't call you and tell you. You don't have my address, you don't have my phone number.
Well, he got something. I mean,
Yeah, he had one of his friends doing it. I try not to deal with him. I'm not. I didn't let it all go. It's like I said, it's hard to trust.
it
It
is
really
hard to trust.
is.
Absolutely, real sister. It is even hard for me to trust now. It is. And
That's why when you've been through that and it's hard for you to trust, you still feel alone. Okay, you've let it go, but in the back of your mind, you're saying to yourself, "Is this person that I'm with now gonna treat me the same way that he did?" I
Mhm.
mean, you've
Because
let it go, but it's still there.
It is. And I'm gonna tell you something. There will be things that the guy I'm seeing now, and it'll be like he's not even trying to do anything, but it'll be a trigger for me. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Like I'll just all of a sudden either go off or I'll say like I don't like that. I don't like that what you did or what you said or something like that. Like I said because it reminds me, and he knows about him. You know what I mean and what I've been through.
Hmm.
And he'll be oh my bad, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Um, I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
And
they're necessary, but some people don't want to have those conversations. How can you be with somebody and you can't have a conversation about what you've been through with that person? It's not it's not telling them, okay, this is something that I don't want you to do. This is something that I've been going through or I have went through. But some people when you get with them, all they want to do is remember from the time y'all are together on. But you can't do that. You got to talk about what you've been through.
oh yeah, you gotta talk about what you've been through because that is going to shape your relationship. It's also going to help your partner in certain situations. You know what I mean? Because there was one time it was a trigger for me. The current that guy that I'm dating, he had texted me. He was like, like what you doing today? And I told him, a little something, something. And then he was like, because I work from home. He was like, well, every time I call you, I feel like you're not really working. Do you even really work?
Mm.
Do you even really work a full 8 hours? Do you even really do anything? Something like that. And that it was just like, oh, that was a big trigger, a really big one. Because I was like, oh, this sounds like my ex. You know what I'm
Yeah, I'm
saying?
gonna be honest. I'd have left him alone. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, well, we've been together a little while now, and so I just he had called me. He called me. I didn't answer the phone, and I sent this long. I mean, this long text message, huge long text message. And do you know that he texted me back? He was like, "I apologize. I'm really sorry. I won't be all up
Hmm.
in your business. I won't downplay what you do. Whatever, whatever. Because woo, that was like,
I didn't know a
oh,
narcissist. I mean, I'm not saying that your boyfriend is.
yeah, no,
I'm
no, no,
not
no,
saying.
no, no, no. He's not. You know, I no, no, no. He's not a narcissist. No, he's not a narcissist. But what he
No, I
did,
mean that's what I'm saying. I'm glad he's not
yeah,
because I didn't know. That's what I was getting ready to say. I didn't know narcissists could apologize, but you say he's not a narcissist,
yeah,
so okay, I got you. But
yeah.
still, I'm surprised that one could apologize because I never got no apology for nothing.
Oh, they do. Oh no. Oh, girl. Look, girl. I could tell you. My narcissist does apologize. Oh, he does. But he's a well. Hold up though. But he's a narcissist. He's a narcissist verbal abuser, and we know abusers. After they hit you or after they say they do apologize, they'll come with some candy or some so and so. Oh no, but a lot of the textbook abuser or narcissist is a form of abuse. I feel yeah, the textbook narcissist and mine did apologizes. Oh, mine did apologize. Mine's apologized a lot of times, and then guess what? And then I feel vulnerable again, and then guess what? Exactly. Then it comes back on
Yeah.
me. Yeah, yeah, they're different types. Yeah, that's how mine works.
Mine didn't
Situations
apologize.
like exactly, exactly, Maria. Exactly. That's how mine. That is how mine was and is to this day. Do you know that he has treated me like crap? I'm talking about my ex-husband now, has said some of the worst downright things to me. Call me. out of my character. Like I said, called me an unfit mother, told me he would take the kids to court and he would get full time custody of the kids based on some things that he has seen about me or whatever like that. And then he will turn right around the next day and he will give me a hug or try to give me a hug and tell me that he was sorry and that this is a true story. Now I'm a great mother, even has brought me flowers sometimes and said what a great mother that he is. And that, he shouldn't have responded the way he responded. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in the past, I don't do that no more. In the past I would fall for it and I would forgive him. We even tried to work things out even after we got divorced, to, try to get back together again.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But my thing is, what would happen? He get complacent, I get complacent, and then guess what happens? Back at it again. That's what I'm saying. He's taken a part of me, and he probably took more than I wanted because I would go back. You know what I mean? I would go back.
Yes, I understand. I did too. After countless of times, him going upside my head or hit me in my stomach when I was pregnant, and he wouldn't apologize. He would say, "Do you know how parents would they be whooping you and they say now you know I love you." That's what he would do. He wouldn't apologize. Now you know I love you. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Oh my. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you talking to me? Oh man, did you have to cough? Hey man, I got that's my only technicality. I have let it, I have let everything go. It's just that alone feeling that I have had for so long is what I need to let go next. I have let all that go, but I feel alone.
But we're not alone. And
Yeah.
girl, we gonna get through this together. May I add that there are some men that value as a person, woman, without them pursuing you for an intimate relationship. Yeah.
I can understand that. But most of my adult life, I have been through, the narcissist side and trying to come on the other side, where people are nice and they don't judge you. That's hard. So from going from here to here, you got to learn this side now. So that's where I'm at.
Yep.
So
There's part of me. I don't do it anymore, but there used to be part of me that wanted to save. I kind of wanted to be like a Captain Save a Ho. I wanted to save his current wife, from the despair that she can possibly have. But people told me time and time again that's not my job.
right, right.
She has to, she has to experience that for herself. Just like I had to experience, unfortunately, for myself. You know what I'm saying? That's not for me to do. but I think I didn't want someone else to go through the same thing that I went through. And then I know a little bit about her past. She was married to a narcissist, abusive man,
Mhm.
to the point where her family didn't come to the wedding, didn't even, wouldn't have nothing to do with him.
Mm.
In the back of my head, I'm sitting here like, and you done married another one, even though, yeah, I know you don't see it. And he's probably done made me to be the worst person on the world, me and wife number one. And I'm sure you think you can do much better job, which maybe you can. But I think at one point I wanted to. It's your job for the people that you are assigned to. I know. I know, Wick, but there's just, it's like that part of me. You see what I'm saying? Like, just wait for it. Do you get what I'm saying? Just wait for it. I
Right, right.
and yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what I do.
Mhm. Right. Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Absolutely. I know, right? And that's what I do. That's what I do when I want to be that Captain Save a Whole person. You know what I'm saying? I put it back on me, on myself, and be like, okay, work on you. It's not your problem. That's not your concern. None of that is.
Right. You know, it took me a long time. I mean, a long time. I was after all that happened with my child, you know, and her dad. I was drinking every day. I was smoking weed every day. It was not a day when 365. It was like 3, maybe 4 years. I did it, and I know that I didn't. What used to be, I love myself. I didn't love myself as much then because of everything that I have went through. So one day, all my kids were sitting on the couch, and I looked at them. I was like, "Dang, I just need to go get me some help." And that's when I went to get me some help. I explained to them everything, and it took me going. Hey, sometimes I would go every day. It took me doing that to get me to where I am now. I truly, I'll tell anybody, I love myself. I'm in love with myself, and I have agape love for myself. When you can have agape love for somebody, you know, I at first when I didn't really love myself, I told him, he called me. He said, "Well, I'm leaving," and he was in the military. He said, "I'm leaving." He said, "I'm going to, yeah, I guess at that, I can't remember what year it was, but it was like a war going on." And I told him, I said, "I hope you don't come back."
Mm.
I ain't gonna lie. I said, "I hope you don't come back." And then, you know, it. I was raised in the church, so it stuck with me, and I couldn't sleep, and I didn't say nothing to him for a whole week. And it just bothered me and kept bothering me and bothering me. So I just got up and I said, "Look," I called him. I said, "I didn't mean to say that, and I apologize, and I hope that you forgive me." Then I started feeling good.
Mhm.
So, you know, that's why I was saying I had to go and get me some help. Because once you hang with a narcissist, once you are with a narcissist, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you turn that way.
Yeah.
That was something that I did not want to do.
Yeah.
'Cause I had 3 kids. I was single. I had 3 kids. They're sitting there looking at me like, well, mom, what are we going to do? My kids see me go through a lot. I don't want my girls are grown now. I don't want my girls
It is
to
contagious.
do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I had to go back on what my mama was saying. She said, love yourself and have agape love for other people. When you have that agape love for people, you can get over. It'll take some time. You can forgive them.
Mm-hmm.
You can move on. You don't throw it back up in their face. I've never thrown nothing up in my ex-husband's face, nor my baby daddy face. That's just not me. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you just sit and feel, just be like, tag, why did this have to happen to me? Man, if I would have just I guess I don't know. I don't even know if I was in love when I got married, because that was 1997.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said you wanted to get up. You wanted
I
to
think
leave
I
the
just,
house.
yeah, I just wanted to get out my mom and dad's house, and I don't like the 4th of July because that's the day we got married. Oh God, that was a word. That was a nice day, but then it became a worst day of my life. I wish that I could go back and
Mm-hmm.
you know turn that off.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Forgive myself for what? Mm. I have done that. I no, I have done that, but you can only tell a therapist so much. Like I said, I don't feel that I can talk to anybody about it. Yeah, I mean, since I'm talking now, I mean, I feel a little bit better. So, mm.
You think it's an ongoing process?
I mean, it's a process. I forgave. I guess I forgave him,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and to a certain extent, I forgave myself, but not as yeah. When I talk about it, like I said, it's been locked in the back of my head. So when I let certain stuff go, it just all that just comes back to the forefront. So everything that I had locked in the back is coming forward.
Mhm. It's that
Well, I
negative
wasn't thinking
energy.
about it then. And then I know, like I said earlier, um, but see, like I said earlier, for some of these shows that I know for myself that they're gonna be hard and it's gonna bring back these emotions. So I was like, when you came to me with that emoji, I was like, I took a deep breath. I was like,
Oh no, I'm sorry.
hey, it's something that I might needed it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
Because I really just don't talk about it. And if I don't talk about it, it just sits there.
Mhm. But Wick made a good point. He said even down to the name that you've chosen for this app speaks volumes of who you are.
Wow. Thank you.
but you have come a long way. You
Me?
know, we both have. Yes, I don't even have to know. I don't even have to know everything. I don't even have to know. I didn't even have to know you 20 years ago. For you to just sit here and be able to talk about it,
I always say it. I often tell Maria, I said,
to
to
even
know me
create this
now, if you
show.
would have known me back then, you'd have been like, oh no, who's this woman? I don't even want to talk to her. I don't even want to be in her live. I don't, I had to just, I felt like, I'm going to be honest, I felt like when I got married to that narcissist, and then after I left him alone, I went to this other one. I felt that if, how can I say it? I felt that, okay, I had one, maybe that's all I deserve. So here comes another one. So, I don't know. I thank y'all for being who you are.
Yes, but I think even creating this show, you know, is a leap of faith. Is you stepping out and you saying, "I'm liberated. I'm free," because the topics that you have on here, I'm sure resonate with you as well. Even other
Oh
topics.
dang. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The topic you gave
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
I was like, no, she didn't.
but you know, for you to be able to create this show and to sit here and even help others, including helping yourself, us helping us.
Yeah.
Yes, that's, oh, give yourself a lot of credit. I ain't gonna say some credit, a lot of credit, girl. Yes, it's an ongoing journey. Yes, it is. Yes, it's a
Mm.
journey, but we are growing, and I I feel wonderful just sitting here being able to talk to y'all about this. The things
I'm gonna be
about
honest, me too. It's a
so much
whole.
for allowing me to come here and talk about this, even if it was somewhat uncomfortable for you, you know, and how we help each other. And we gonna get through this, child. We gonna get through this because we ain't giving them in that damn power.
I'm gonna be honest. It was very, very, very uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, because I haven't talked to no Maria. Don't even know most of it. I haven't talked to nobody about it because every time I wanted to, it was like I hear it in the back of my head playing. Now I have let him go. I have let all that go. Now I just have to get it unregistered because every time I went with, like I said, when I heard that it's a narcissism. Hmm. I started hearing, oh God, don't nobody love you the way I do. Ain't nobody gonna love you after me. I'm just sitting here looking around the room like, Lord have mercy. But I thank you because it made it come to the surface so I could just get it out and let it go. I've
And
let the person go. I've let everything else go. It's
exactly what it
just
does.
that last little bit.
Yeah,
With that last little bit there, I just
yeah, yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. Well, this was great, y'all. I really did. I had a great time. No, I had a really great time, and I feel, you know how you feel like you got a little something off of you.
Yeah, a little something off your chest. Yeah.
Please, please come through. You know, even for a few minutes. I know everybody's busy, but please come through and enjoy. And real sister, we got this. We got this. We are some strong black women, child. We got this, folks. Maria, thank you so much for listening. You have such a common voice, you know. Just
Yes, I
thank you
appreciate you.
guys. And I'm gonna. I guess I'll go home now and make sure my kids ain't tear the house up.
Oh my. Man, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying.